Hello everybody, this video is just going to be a real quick explanation as to why I suspect North Korea will do something in the coming days, or even hours. So, to understand the position that we are in, you have to be familiar with the 2010 shelling incident. So, in 2010, Kim Jong-un was just appointed as successor to Kim Jong-il. And at that time, it is widely believed that the appointment of Kim Jong-un was highly controversial within North Korean government. So it is believed that in order to make himself appear legitimate to the North Korean elite, Kim Jong-un ordered the shelling. So if we look at that and we compare it to where we're at now, with his sister seemingly making a rise to the top, we can kind of begin to understand just how this is shaping out. So if you, like many of us, believe that Kim Yo-jong is somebody that is climbing the ranks quite quickly and could potentially be a successor to Kim Jong-un when he eventually passes away, you can kind of start to see just how this is shaping up, very similar to 2010. When you have a country like North Korea, where you have a lot of hardliners and you have probably quite a few people who are the opposite, you're going to have people skeptical of you when you begin to start to take a position of power. And, that was very evident with 2010 as well, if the theories are to be believed. So what I suspect is happening is I suspect that due to Kim Jong-un's health problems, I suspect that a successor was named, and I believe the successor is going to be his sister. Now, I believe, personally, that this announcement in North Korea is pretty hotly controversial within the North Korean elite. And one way that Kim Yo-jong can prove herself to the North Korean elite is by doing something to South Korea. South Korea is North Korea's #1 enemy. So that is something that would definitely prove herself. Now, at the same time, not only does she have to prove herself to the North Korean government, she now has to prove herself to the North Korean people. Now, of course, you can make the argument that with how North Korea is with their media, that they could just fake a military response. But at the same time, that would be pretty darn difficult. I mean, you can only get away with lying about so much, even when you have such a large amount of control over the information that comes in and out of North Korea. So that's kind of why I suspect we're going to see something. Of course, I'm going to sound like a massive idiot if nothing happens, but obviously I would prefer nothing did. So I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to that. So, like I said earlier, just gonna kind of wait, see what happens. It's 12:08 a.m., 12:08 p.m. in North Korea. Still fairly early. We have tons of time for North Korea to do something. I don't suspect they're in a rush, but we shall see. Stay tuned. Also, real quick, before I end the video, I just want to explain what I suspect could happen, because I've had a lot of people ask me what I think North Korea could do. So personally, and I'm not an expert on this, but I'm somebody that's kind of watched this region for a couple years now, I suspect that North Korea could do one of three things. I think North Korea could either fire artillery towards South Korean claimed land, similar to 2010. North Korea could also fire artillery towards the balloon launching sites, so those would be somewhere around the border area, or they could do a very strong nuclear test, which kind of is not too big of a likelihood. It's not something that I super see happening, mainly because there hasn't really been any indication, preparations for a nuclear test. Or, there's so many different provocations that North Korea could do. It really all just depends on, are they really genuinely angry about this? It's very important to know just how angry they are. So to all the people that are asking me, how are they going to act? What are they going to do? I genuinely don't know, and I'm not too comfortable making that big of a prediction, because this is such a hard region to guess and try and predict. So, yeah, we're just gonna have to kind of see what happens.